Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where let's just say some companies are trying to make a big splash in the computing world, and we're here to see if their numbers add up. We've got a new filing from CIMG Incorporated, and this one is packed with news about new deals. Imagine a company signing contracts worth $124 million. That is a lot of zeros, and it definitely got my attention. Let's dive in and see what this means for them. So first off, we're looking at a report filed by CIMG Incorporated. They are incorporated in Nevada, and their stock trades under the symbol MG on the Nasdaq. The report itself is dated the 5th of January 2026, which is pretty recent news. The main event in this filing is something called Regulation FD Disclosure. Now, that sounds a bit technical, but what it really means is that the company is sharing important news with everyone at the same time, so no one gets an unfair advantage. And the big news here is that CIMG subsidiaries have signed some initial contracts related to computing power. Think of this like a company that builds or rents out powerful computers, like those used for big data processing or artificial intelligence. They have just signed a bunch of deals to provide this computing power to other businesses. These contracts were signed in the last few months of 2025, and the total value of these new deals is around $124 million. Now, it is important to note that this amount is subject to things like customers actually placing their orders and the services being inspected and accepted. So, it is not a done deal for the full amount right away, but it's a really strong signal of future business. This is a significant chunk of money, and it suggests a real demand for their computing services. Interestingly, this report doesn't contain detailed financial statements like a full income statement or balance sheet. Instead, it is primarily about this announcement. The main exhibit being filed is a press release detailing this information. Usually, in these types of reports, we'd get deep into the numbers, but here the focus is clearly on the announcement of these new contracts. This press release, which is attached as an exhibit, is where all the juicy details are. It confirms the signing of these computing power contracts valued at approximately $124 million in total. For a company like CIMG, this is a massive green light, indicating that their strategy to push into the computing power market is gaining traction. It is not just talk anymore, they are signing real deals. Now, let's step back and look at this from a broader perspective. What does $124 million in new contracts mean for a company? If CIMG was, let's say, a smaller player before this, these contracts could fundamentally change their revenue trajectory. It suggests they have the capacity to deliver and that customers trust them with significant projects. This is the kind of news that can really move the stock price and attract more investor interest. It is a sign of growth and market validation. However, we also need to remember the conditions attached. Customers' order quantities, inspections, and acceptance mean that revenue will likely be recognized over time, not all at once. This is fairly standard for these types of agreements, but it is worth keeping in mind that the actual cash flow might take a while to materialize fully. From a strategic viewpoint, this is CIMG doubling down on computing power, which is a hot sector. Companies are increasingly relying on robust computing infrastructure for everything from cloud services to artificial intelligence. If CIMG can successfully deliver on these contracts, it positions them as a serious contender in this space. We'll need to watch how they execute and how this translates into actual revenue in their upcoming financial reports. What we didn't get here are the detailed financials to see if their expenses match this revenue potential, or how their balance sheet looks after securing these deals. This filing is more of a forward-looking announcement. A signal of intent and early success rather than a full financial health check. It is like getting a really promising preview of a movie before it is fully released. Looking ahead, the key things to watch are CIMG's ability to fulfill these contracts, the profitability of these deals, and how they plan to use this momentum to secure even more business. If these contracts represent a significant portion of their current business, it's a game changer. If it's just a small addition, it's still positive but less transformative. So to wrap up, CIMG Incorporated has just announced a major step forward with substantial new contracts in the computing power sector, totaling approximately $124 million. This is exciting news that signals strong demand for their services and potential for significant growth. While we don't have the full financial picture in this specific filing, these deals are a very positive indicator of their strategic direction and market reception. Now it is time for my take. CIMG is definitely making a bold move into a high growth area. The success of these contracts and turning that potential value into actual profitable revenue will be the true test. The risk here is always in execution. Can they deliver on time and on budget? If they can, the opportunities are huge. If they stumble, the market can be unforgiving. For now, this looks like a strong positive step, But we'll need to see those follow-up financial reports to get the full story. What is your take on this big announcement from CIMG? Do you think these contracts are a sign of lasting success or just a temporary boost? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to join our Discord community, linked in the description, for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.